Mitram and Bandhuvam, welcome to South Asia Maps Intellectual Kshatriya channel. This is your presenter J. Reddy. South Asia Maps brings fascinating aspects of South Asian heritage, and I also talk about other varied interests such as human ecology and population. And this is my main YouTube channel, and South Asia Maps J. Reddy. I have more than 280 excellent presentations, and I organized them into around about 30 playlists, and you can go and explore those playlists, and there are varied subjects, and many of them will definitely fit into whatever interest you have, because this is a population specific topic. I will be putting on human ecology playlist, also human population playlist, and I will open South Asia population, that is India, Pakistan specific. I will also add to that. That is South Asia Maps J. Reddy. Today's topic of interest is human ecology population. This is part 52. You can look at it, part 52. Every year, 10 million humans are added from India. This is a net population growth. Every year, net 10 million humans are added. That means more than 100 million net population is added per a decade, 10 years. So that is the topic I will be going to discuss today. The importance of the topic is, if you are looking at or listening any social, political, economic aspects of today's society, if you are not aware of the population of a particular habitat, area, or a country or province or a state, your understanding of the events that drive the external symptoms will not be very clear. That's why having a broader understanding of population is very, very important for you to know how the society is running. In Human Ecology series or South Asia Maps, I already presented more than 50 videos. The most important topics such as carrying capacity, taking over, drawing down, the new world, navigations, discoveries of the old world, Homo Colossus, that is gigantic human being, resource consuming, ecological exuberance leading to emotional exuberance, political exuberance, and so many other topics I have covered in other videos. You can look at them so that you will have a very broad understanding. These are mostly works from Dr. Catton's work, and this topic now I have made a series of videos. So this is 52 part. I will be talking about the population growth per year in India. In 53 we will talk about China, next Nigeria, next Pakistan, USA, Bangladesh. These are the top countries that contribute most of the population growth. And the population elephant in the planet Earth I will discuss later. Coming to today's presentation, that is 100, this India, every year 10 million people are added. You can see 10 million people are added. So this is the website I have gone, you can go to Wikipedia, you can see Demography India, and I have gathered that information here. This is the information, birth rate and death rate I have gathered here. One important thing I would like to mention is how many people per year are added to India depends upon what information you are getting from. Some say around about 10 million, some 12 million, 13 million. They're all correct more or less. Depends upon what year they have picked the information. Some projections may be there, but this gives a broad idea that you have to keep in mind. In the beginning, I also got confused, and finally I figured it out that that is what it is. So this is just a broad idea. Coming for actual things, let's say if you go to Wikipedia, you can see for 1,000, this is the birth rate. For 1,000 people, if you take 1,000 people, an average Indian village, let's say around about 2,000 people or so, you say 1,000 people, on which there are 16 births per year and around about 9.45 deaths. That's what I have given here. There are 16.42 births and 9.45 deaths. Round about 7. We are not concerned about the minute thing. So a village or a habitat having 1,000 people in Bharat, India, every year a net addition of 7 people happens. 7 people for 1,000 population. If you say 7,000 instead of 7 and 1,000, 7 million, and you add 1,000 million, that is 1 billion or 100 crore. For 7 billion are added for 1,000 million. Remember, India has around about 1,500 million, less than that, but we can round it up. That means this is 7, half of it is 3.5. That means 10.5 million people are added for 1,500 million population. So that's what I rounded here. Every year in India, 10 million people are added. That means if there are 2 general elections to Lok Sabha in India, that means 10 years, you will get 100 million people. Let's say India has a 1,500 million people. That is the most populous country on the planet Earth. In that, think about in a virtual small India, for every 10 years that adds 100 million people or 120 or 110 million people. That is a humongous amount of population. That means if you rank all the countries in the world, only around about 12 or 13 countries have more than that population. Here in 2019, I am listing Philippines, Egypt, Vietnam. They have round about 100 million people. That is the population of their entire country, 13th largest country on the planet Earth. Every decade in India, you are making a country having a population of more than Philippines or Egypt. That is very, very important to realize. So 10 million or 11 million or 12 million, how you are looking based upon different sources, and we are adding round about 110 million or so for every decade in India. That is a very important thing you have to keep in mind, population in India. So that is about India, one of the first largest country on the planet Earth, that has around about 3.2 million square kilometers out of 150 million square kilometer of the land mass on the planet Earth. India has 1,500 million people and mainland China has about 1,400 million people or so. Every year in India, we are adding 10 or 11 million people. For every decade, that is 2 general elections in India, we are adding a population of 100 or 110 million people. That is the same amount of population like Philippines and Egypt, which are the 12th or the 13th largest countries in the planet Earth in terms of the population. So that is about the population addition in India per year. That means India adds 10 million per year, China adds around about 5 million per year, Nigeria adds 5 million, Pakistan adds 4.5 million per year, and United States adds around about 2 million, Bangladesh adds around about more or less 1.8 million or so. This is per year population growth in the planet Earth and India's contribution in that. So, without controlling the population, whatever you do in the Indian social, economic, political system, that has of little value. That means every 2 general elections in India, you are adding 100 million people or 110 million people, means you have to produce food for them, you have to produce school books, uniforms, the buses. When they grow, you have to provide them the jobs. And not only that, these people now are Homo Colossus, are aspiring to be Homo Colossus. That means they want to purchase 2-wheelers, the 4-wheelers, the vacuum, the dryers, air coolers, air conditioners, and the list goes on and on. And in the planet Earth, we do not have so many resources. It is not about the money or a job, it is about the resources, minerals, metals, turned into these end products for human consumption. That is the very important thing you have to keep in mind. That's what I have discussed in 52 part. Every year in Bharat, around about 10 million, remember this icon 1 and 0, 10. Actually 11 or 12 millions, depending upon the various other sources, humans are added to the planet Earth. That is a humongous thing, and that is not a small figure. You have to keep in mind. See you later in other presentation. This is your presenter, Dr. J. Reddy at South Asia Maps Intellectual Kshatriya channel. And see you later in the other presentations. And if you like the channel and content, I really appreciate you take the time to put your comments and also subscribe the channel and bring it to your friends' notice, and we'll continue our explorations on demography, that is the human population and their growth in very top few countries in the planet Earth, later on top few provinces of Bharat. See you later in other presentations.